Welcome. In this video I'd just like to tell you a little bit about what WordPress is. WordPress is free web-based software that you can use to create a beautiful website or blog. It is free and open source, and what this really means is that it has a wonderful community of developers and users who are constantly contributing to the software, and that's one of the reasons why it is so popular and it is so good. It was originally created as a blogging platform, but is now developed into a full-blown content management system, or CMS. It is web-based, as I mentioned before, so therefore it works on PC, Mac, Linux, and with the use of apps, you can actually use it on mobile devices such as your iPad, your iPhone, BlackBerry, or your Android devices. WordPress has become increasingly popular, and it currently powers over 60 million websites. It has thousands of extensions and themes, and this is what has really made WordPress so popular and so powerful, because there are so many different layouts and you can really create a beautiful website with the themes and the extensions, the plugins really make WordPress so nimble, and you can do pretty much anything with WordPress. It is available in two flavors at wordpress.com, which is a fully hosted version, but there are some limitations as to what you can use these sites for, and a lot of the features are premium features you would have to pay for. And additionally, there's the version available at wordpress.org, which is self-hosted, which you install on your hosting account or domain. And this is the version that we're going to focus on throughout this video course. So in the next set of videos, I'm going to take you through how you can install WordPress, create your site, edit your site, customize it. And the beautiful thing about WordPress is that you can do all of this in your browser and without having to edit any HTML. And this is why it really is so easy to use. So join me in the next set of videos as I show you how powerful WordPress is. In this video we are going to install WordPress from our control panel. So I'm just presuming that you've already gotten a hosting account with the control panel and you've registered your domain. So the first thing you want to do is go and look for software/services, and depending on your hosting account this may be slightly different. So here you'll see Softaculous, and a popular one is also Fantastico Deluxe, or you may see Auto Install. And if you don't see any of these, then you just want to contact your hosting provider and just find out exactly which auto installer they have. They all basically pretty much work the same. So so I'm just going to go ahead and use Softaculous because that's the software that is available in this hosting account. And what you will do is you see a list of scripts, software that you can install using this auto installer, and WordPress is the first one, so I'm just going to go ahead and click install. And then you have a couple of options here, and the first thing you want to do is choose the location from which you're going to install WordPress. So you go through your domains, and in this case I'm going to install on wpvideocyclic.com, and the next thing is the directory in which you're going to install WordPress. Now if you leave this area blank, then it will install in the root of your domain. So in this case it would install at wpvideocyclic.com. But if you type something in this area such as news or blog, then it will install at wpvideocyclic.com / and blog, and that will be the location of your site. Now most of the other settings are pretty straightforward. So the next thing is you want to give your site a name. So in this case, I'm going to call it WP Video Sidekick. And one of the things I just like about Softaculous, and it's not available in all the other installers, is just the ability to customize this part. Of course, I give a site description, become a WP Pro. And really, the more unique you can make your installation is the safer your site will be. So the next thing we look at is the admin account, and by default it will say admin, and I advise that you change this because this is a serious security vulnerability. So you want to change that, and of course create a unique password. Now, because this is a demonstration video, I'm just going to leave it the username as admin and just create a password, because of course I'm not going to use this for any serious purposes, and you just want to add your email, and this will be used for communications from the site to you. So if there are updates, if there are comments to be approved on your site, then it will go to that email. So then we just click install, and this will happen pretty quickly, as you will find, and there you go. It's pretty much finished, and that's how quickly it works. And what has happened in the background is that all the technical stuff, the MySQL databases, the installing of WordPress, and you will see that the location of your site is wpvideosidekick.com/blog, and the administrative URL is wpvideosidekick.com/blog wp-admin, and that is where you would go to log into the backend of your site. So just go and we're going to go and check out the site, and what you will see here is one of the default themes and just some content that has been created just so that your site isn't there and you can get a feel of what the site will look like. And of course there's a test post, there's a test page, and of course you will want to edit it, and this is what we are going to do in the next set of videos, and that is to customize our site. In this video I'm going to show you how you can install WordPress manually through FTP, or File Transfer Protocol, and we're going to need a couple of things. And the first thing you're going to need is the WordPress software. So you can get it at www.wordpress.org, and you just click this button that says download WordPress, and you want to always come here to get the latest version of WordPress. Now the reason that we install WordPress manually is just to get around some of the vulnerabilities that occur when we use auto installers such as Fantastico Deluxe, because this allows us to just customize the installation. And one of the things that we want to do is always get the latest version of WordPress, because sometimes when you use an auto installer it isn't the latest version. So you can just select download WordPress. I already have it on my desktop, so I'm not going to download it again. And the next thing we're going to need is an FTP client. Now you can get one free called FileZilla, which is also open source, at filezilla-project.org. So that's filezilla-project.org, and what you want to do is get the download FileZilla client and not the download FileZilla server. So that's the client, and what this FTP client does is allows you to just upload multiple files to your server, and at a faster rate, because when you upload files to cPanel sometimes there are limitations on the file size. So this just gets around that problem, allows you to install pretty quickly. So you just go ahead and download the FileZilla client, and then you would activate the software as you would do any other software, and when you do that it will look like this. And just one thing, if you go back, when you download the WordPress package, it's in a zip file, so you will have to unzip it, and then you go into FileZilla. And just a quick tutorial on how to connect using FileZilla. At the very top here, you will have host, and what you put here is ftp dot your site name. In this case, I'm using wp video sidekick.com. So that's FTP, not www dot or HTTP. So it's FTP, your site name.com. And then the username, in most cases, will be the same username you use to log into cPanel. So that's the username and password for cPanel. And the port, you don't have to put it, the default should be 21, but you don't have to enter anything there. And once you do that, you just select Quick Connect, and you will connect to your server. And what you see something similar to this. On the left hand side will actually be the files on your desktop, and on the right hand side will actually be the files at your server, at your hosting account. So what I'm actually going to do, because you have to find the location where you've downloaded the WordPress package. So I'm just going to go back to the screen that you'll probably see, and to go up a folder, you just click this folder at the very top with the two dots beside it, and you will probably see something like this, and on the server side something like this. Okay, so in my case I would go to users, then I go to documents. Chances are you will have the WordPress package in your downloads folder. I'll just go to documents. I know that's where I have it. Let me go back up. Sorry, users. Right, so I go to my documents folder, and WordPress 3.8.1, and it's the folder that's unzipped. And on the right hand side you will go to your public HTML folder, and this is just where you have all the public files for your website. And once you get in there, now what you're seeing, you will see some files in here. Chances are if you've just activated this domain, and this is the only domain you have in your hosting, you won't see anything there. But I do have WordPress already installed in my main site. But the site that we're going to use is actually an add-on domain. And if this is the case where you're using an add-on domain, you just search for it. And in this case, WP Video Sidekick. So if this was your main, let me just go back one step. If this was your main domain on the hosting account, and that's where you wanted to upload WordPress, then once you get inside your HTML, public HTML folder, you would be in the root of that domain, and this is where you would upload the WordPress files from the left. Well, like I said, in my case, I am uploading the files to an add-on domain, so I select wpvideosidekick.com, and now I'm in the root of that domain. So what we want to do is just select all of these files, and we can do two things. We can drag the files over to this side and drop it, or we can just right click and select upload. Now this will take some time to upload to our site, so while that is happening, I'm just going to pause this video and we'll pick up in another video. Just one more quick thing, back in FileZilla. Now, if you didn't want to install WordPress in the root of your domain, like I said, I'm in the root. If you look at the top where it says remote site public _HTML wpvideosidekick.com. So I'm in the root of that domain. But if you wanted to install WordPress in a subdirectory, so say you wanted to install in wpvideosidekick/blog, then you would just right click, create directory, name the directory blog, select OK, then you would have opened that folder, and then you would have uploaded all the WordPress files from the package into this area. Okay, so I'm actually just going to jump over to my site. So while the package is uploading, if you go to the home page of your site, you'll probably see something that looks like this, index of, and so there's nothing there right now, and that's fine. That's how it's supposed to look. And when WordPress has completed the upload, which it's just about finished, and it will take some time because it is a large package. If we go back over, so at our site now, all the files for WordPress have been uploaded. So if we refresh, then you'll see something very different. Now you just see this message here that says there doesn't seem to be a WP config file, and there's a button here that says create a configuration file. So you go ahead and select that button, and then you'll come to another page that says you will need the following: the database name, database username, database password, database host, etc. And to get all of these, what we have to do is go to our cPanel as a hosting account and go ahead and just create a MySQL database. Now, I personally prefer to use the wizard because it just does it in a nice systematic way. So we select MySQL database wizard, and this is where we get to really customize the installation. So you can just put some random characters there, and you want to ensure that you have something like Notepad or even a bit of paper to write down, all the information that we're going to create here. So I have Notepad ready, so I go to next step. Then I create a username for that database, and then I need to create a password. So there's a built-in password generator, so you can just use it, copy, and just click this box that says I have copied this password in a safe place, use password, and it will just populate the password fields. And you want to go ahead and just type password, paste it there, and then you select create user. So passwords do not match, so let me just paste them again, and then we need to retype this bit at the top. Create user, and then it would just say that the user has been created with this password. So we are going to copy this information, the user name, over to our Notepad file, and we also need the database name, so we need to copy that over as well. So database name. If we go back to our site, you see they ask for database name, username, password, database host, and the table prefix. So we go back, so we copied the database username and the database name, and we have our password. And this box here that says all privileges, we just want to tick it so that we can have all the privileges which we will need to create this use this database for our WordPress installation. So we just select next step, and we just have a summary of the username, just in case you didn't get to copy it in the last page. You absolutely need to copy this information without the quotation marks. Okay, so if we go back over to our site, then this button at the bottom, we can just select Let's Go, and you will be taken to this screen where you will enter your database name. So we just go back to our Notepad file, and we have our database name. So the name and user. So we copy all of that over. And then the password goes there. Now for the database host, in 99% of cases, this will be the default. You don't have to change this. But if you enter this and it doesn't work, then you will have to contact your hosting company just to find out what it is that they use as their database hosts. But in 99% of the cases, this will work. And the table prefix, now you could just add a few letters and numbers just to customize this as well. And it's, as you see, the little note here says it's useful if you want to run multiple WordPress installations. So I'm just going to go ahead and select Submit, and you will just get this message that says, okay, you made it through this part of the installation. WordPress can now communicate with your database, and you just run the install, and then you will just have a few more customizations. Some of this will look familiar to you from when we did the installation automatically. So you name your sites, WP video site, click the username. You want to create something unique. I usually just use a combination of letters and numbers. Never use admin. And so now we can just go back to our notepad. So our WP username, we need to just save that, and the password, and you just need to create something that's strong. Try using some common letters and capital letters, and what I'll do is just go back WP password. So if we go and I'm just creating a random password because this is just for demonstration. And if we go back here and we just paste it in, and the next thing you'd have to do is enter an email so that you can receive updates, and this will be the email that will be used for communication. And the last field that we have here is the privacy field, and you can just leave this ticked, allow search engines to index this site, and then you just select install. And then you will just see the screen here that says success, WordPress has been installed, and you've selected a username and of course the password that you selected. And if you just click the button that says login, it will take you to the login page, login to your site, but I'm not going to do that just yet. I'm just going to go back to the home page of our site, and now you can see that instead of the message that we had there, which was pretty much blank. Now we have a site installed with one of the default themes for WordPress and just some default post widgets, etc. So in the next set of videos, I'll take you through exactly how you can customize the site, change the themes, plugins, etc. Okay, so that's how you install WordPress manually through FTP.